This prison is in need of assistance, and Derpy and his friend might just be the pair that we need to help us. We really need people to help with all of our labor because, well, our goal is to capture and secure 40 prisoners for the Empire, like we talked about in the previous two videos. If you haven't watched those, check them out. But right now, we're going to use Derpy's tailoring skills to start making us some better clothes, and then since they like these visage masks, we made everyone a visage mask. Baltai is our child. He's our Yatkin boy, and he is in this sort of makeshift classroom right now. We're gonna have to grow up our next generation of Empire Wardens in order to secure this prison, I think. We did manage to build an okay kill box, though, with some pretty decent beginner-like traps, and then we got our farm going. Derpy and Ren definitely helped us get food stockade, helped us clean the place up. We were able to secure medicine, and Baltai came of age and he's able to clean, so that's nice. We can focus on other tasks by the adults. A jade meteorite landed, which is pretty nice. However, like everything in the Rimworld, with fortune comes misfortune, and these 7 Yatkin are going to try to come raid us. We have a pretty neat setup with our base with this mountain structure blockading them from the north, so they kind of got to come around into the river and attack us, so it gives us time to come up here and get ready. There's 6 of us with Derpy and Ren helping us, and they both have clubs. I was trying to hide them in this building so they don't get too wet while we're waiting for them to come down. Although what I realized is that in order to use my animal war call, I need to be pretty far up because the rhinos kind of wandered up north a little bit. And I was actually only able to call one of them in. I got a little bit worried that Tails was getting too close to them and retreated them back behind the wall. Sometimes they'll actually come with their own animals and attack with animal helpers. What I've seen in the past is wild boars, but this rhino's helping us out. It's distracting them and injures a few and actually kills one of them. There are still 6 pretty tough Yatkin that we have to deal with, though. I mean, they are beast people. But our kill box is going to be set up perfectly to defend this raid. They have like some minor pistols and some clubs and stuff. But I deploy the old tactic of wait behind the wall, and when they come around the corner, shoot them. The shotguns are good too because they slow them down pretty nicely, and we get actually 2 of them down. We're able to bring them into the prison and start working on them, but as happens in the jungle, they quickly develop infections, and one of them dies. So, our prisoner capturing ability is limited by our doctoring ability. And I think we may have overcompensated by growing a literal crap ton of heal root, but that's okay. I think really what we need, if we're going to help this colony expand into its actual 40 prisoners final destination in-game that we're trying to accomplish here, is a prison hospital. We need appropriate beds, and I'd like to build some steel tiles in there to make it a little more clean. Before we can do that, though, we gotta fight off this infestation, which was my worst fear, was that the infestation would come in right into the prisoner's room. Tails is like pregnant. She's about to have another baby at any moment. But before she could do that, she's gonna have to fight some man-eating insects real quick. Our prisoner wakes up when the insects come in and is like, alright, let's do this. I mean, the Yatkin are down to fight no matter what, I think. Charlie takes the blunt of the damage, and for some reason, I don't know if that was an errant shot or he meant to do that, but Balls just executed our prisoner with a shotgun round, so now we're back to 2 prisoners. But all the insects are dead, so that's good news. I think Tails is thankful that Charlie took the bulk of the injuries for that fight. She's actually uninjured, which is very important because her being injured or having any type of blood loss could cause a miscarriage. And that would upset Baltai and the parents and everyone. But Charlie, you know, he's a good friend. He manages to wake up and help deliver this baby even though he's wounded. And what do they do with the baby? Well, they do what everyone does in Rimworld. They just let it lie there on the floor. I think we need to name this baby Ponytails, right? Yeah, it's the daughter of Tails. So we got Ponytails and Balltie, brother and sister. Now they can really help us. As they get older, they'll be excellent additions to this colony because we can train them ourselves. That's why we built that nice classroom and why we're trying to focus on teaching them skills as fast as we can. We actually need social skills because social skills will help us warden. People that have good social skills make good wardens, and well, we're the Empire Prison 417/Bravo, the Empire Wardens. These rhinos are doing much better at killing people, and we were actually able to aggro 2 of them this time. So I think in total they kill 2 or 3. I think they kill 2, or down 2. And then what happens is they injure the other people. There's a couple stragglers over on the left. 7 people came in total, but they were split up 5 and 2, which was nice. They're going to be no match for this spike trap here. And the other 2 are still lingering on the left side of the map, haven't even attacked yet. One thing about using the animal calls to attack people, though, is that, well, if the animals die, we still get a bunch of rhino meat. That's nice. They don't get scaria or get infected or anything, so we can just take them back with us. We weren't able to capture a prisoner. The prisoner woke up when we were actually tending to their wounds and decided that they wanted to fight some more. So instead of living with us with no legs trapped inside a mountain, they decided that they wanted to die underneath the sun like an honorable warrior, and I completely agree with that. We're in the process of building this prison hospital, like I mentioned before. My initial thought was that as I cut their legs off, I would just put them all in a room on the floor with no beds or anything, because beds are wealth, and I didn't want to accumulate too much wealth. But I'm thinking now and realizing now that maybe really my entire prison should really just be a prison hospital. The whole thing should be a prison hospital. That makes the most sense. They should all just be medical beds. That way I get the buff when I'm trying to cut their legs off. And then also they're incapacitated anyways. They have no legs, so the colonists and wardens treat them as patients, or prisoner patients, always. Derpy actually dropped an orbital bombardment sensor for us. So that's amazing. He gave us a gift because we helped him. And then Banshee fell from the sky, one of our enemies, and is just laying there. So I sent Balls out to grab him because Balls has 2 bionic legs, so he can walk the fastest. And since Banshee was way over on the outside of the map, we were able to tend to him and bring him back over without too much worry. We cut up the rhinos, and now we got a lot of rhino meat. And although we weren't able to capture any Yatkins, we still got 2 extra prisoners, Banshee that fell from the sky, and then also Iroser, who was captured from that last raid. This raid's also coming down, and we're using our last rhino now. And by using the last one, I mean their last of the wild pack that was up there. I could call in these capybaras to attack them or whatever if I wanted to, but I think just having the one injure them and kill one is enough. Hopefully some more rhinos or elephants wander over to this side of the map. And if not, I'm going to try to go tame some of them. We're using the tactic of shoot them in the back with the shotgun in order to try to slow them down and capture more people. It is nice having shotguns, and it's an appropriate weapon for a warden. Sometimes, though, the shotgun goes into their brain, which is not good. We'd like it to go into their spine, would be ideal, so they would be paralyzed, but we do have a habit of murdering our prisoners. I think, we've captured 4 prisoners so far. I think in total we've had like 10 or something. I think like 6 of them have died along the way, but such is life in Rimworld. The casualty rate of prisoners is kind of high. That's another reason why I was thinking I would just leave them all in beds, because the disease rate in the jungle is so high. If they're just laying on the floor, then they might get sick, and then their tend rate won't be as well when I'm trying to fix them with medicine. Banshee's just wandering around dazed from too much anesthetic. My tactic now is just anesthetize the heck out of them, and that way they won't revolt. But the prison hospital is working. It is working well. Tails is actually able to cut off legs efficiently. We only had one failed surgery this time. And Charlie Charmed lurks by telling a tale about fat people. My wife loves that show, 600 Pound Life, so I get it. Hey, some people just like to hear a good tale about fat people.